And there we have it. Decision to go live. No idea what will happen. No idea if anyone will join. It's Christmas Eve 2024. And I haven't planned this. So let's see if anyone gets notified and joins. Oh, I better put Do Not Disturb on here. Well, I've been notified. If I've got the notification, then others will as well. It just depends what they're doing. Yeah, sometimes you just do this, don't you? Well, I do. Actually, I haven't done it like this before. And we shall see. I want to put something in the chat. Hi. Hi, Julie. Good evening. Very formal. Yeah, this is not planned at all, really. Sue's on a live tonight. Well, not going live. She's participating. Oh, you got notification. Good. So I just thought, I mean, I've been thinking about doing I know I did the podcast the other week, and I was thinking about doing a short video or something just to say Merry Christmas, but I thought, well, I'll do it this way, and then people can come on if they want to. When I say come on, I mean, jump onto the stream and talk about whatever. However your Christmas preparations are going. It has been manic the last couple of days. Just, I still feel I've got more to do, but not really present-wise. It's just kind of home logistics, really. Because Hannah, my daughter's stopping over tomorrow. So, yeah, why not go live, eh? Let's just see what happens. And it got me thinking, does anyone have any Christmas Eve traditions? Do you have any particular places you visit, food that you eat on Christmas Eve? Not Christmas Day, we kind of know all about that. Or is it just whatever? Go with the flow. Feel free to share. And I guess it's a bit risky doing this in terms of views because it is Christmas Eve. That's the whole idea. But, with 1,705 subscribers, as at the last look, I'm assuming some people might be able to come on board. And it's about the time that I normally do these. Interesting fact, in 66 years, I've never cooked. Wow. Never cooked a Christmas dinner. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, very good. And a remarkable achievement. I don't mind doing it. I mean, I quite like spreadsheets, and you sort of need spreadsheets sometimes to manage the timings. I know it seems a bit over the top, but it is worth it. And but ours will be fairly simple, I think, tomorrow. There are different elements to it, but never had a Christmas dinner and never will. Have you gone out for Christmas dinner though? I always find the pricing, if you eat out at Christmas, it's just like 3 times what it would normally be. And I know it's your social time and people have got to work at Christmas to deliver said Christmas meal, but it's just so pricey. Did it once. Kids misbehaved. A number of moves. Actually, fun fact, the one time that I went out for a Christmas dinner, or the family went out, it was at the Good Companions at Hamsey Green. So straight away that gives you an idea of how long ago it was. And in a table near to our table was Gareth Southgate having his Christmas meal. Later to become England manager, of course. Oh, it says 2 viewers. If you're on board, if you're on the if you joined me in this Christmas Eve impromptu broadcast, please say hello, and then it'd be nice to know who's come on board. We've already started eating stuff that's on the sideboard. Not too badly, but not gone too mad. Sue doesn't like the Christmas cake that I bought. We tried that. That was at Aldi. Very boozy. Oh, yes, sorry. Sir, is he Sir Gareth? Well, yes, Sir Gareth, yes. Like going out. I mean, I think, yes. I think what we found when we went was, like any of these things, it was a big challenge for the very pub or whatever that are providing it, because I think people think, well, we paid so much money and it better be perfect. Well, that was my thought anyway. It says 3 concurrent viewers. So who are you? Raise a hand, say hello, say Merry Christmas. Don't be shy. Tell us what you've been doing today. Actually, we didn't kind of really arrange this. We went around to see my mum. It's over at Hamsey Green, and the whole family were there. Obviously Sue came along. Sue's sister was there because she sort of helps my mum out, and yeah, brother, sister, niece, great niece, and it was nice. Yeah, really nice. So good catch up. And oh, I hear Sue's voice from behind the door. We've still got some presents to wrap. And as I say, still got a few logistics to do. I kind of panic unnecessarily, really, with these things, because I know it'll always get done. Or I can always ask other people to help out. The viewers are going up a little bit. So, again, feel free to say hello and what your chosen specialised subject is. And how far away from Croydon might you be? Or are you all local? You pick up the channel because it's local. And you are locally connecting. Or are you? Are you further afield? Are you an ex-Croydonian? A number of people find the channel and have a connection with the area from many moons ago. I feel I'm quite away from the mic today. I'll get a bit closer. Radio mic and all that. I mean, radio sound. I've not even been drinking, apart from the booze in the cake. So, yeah, so we've finally done it, Christmas Eve. What else are we doing over Christmas? So, yes, we got hosting a bit tomorrow. So, daughter's coming over. Going to Sue's sister on Boxing Day. Hoping to sneak in the iPad and watch the Crystal Palace game that's on Amazon. And then we are getting back to some normal stuff for a day or so. Going to see my sister. Because mother visiting at the other end of the weekend. And then we're going away for an overnight in the early part of the new year. So, got a few things in the diary. Time flies. I must admit, I quite like the getting back to normal. I've built up quite a few things that I need to do. Got a video that I need to put out. And also, just a very quick kind of video thing, non-Christmassy, but I was prompted by my good mate Graham to do a video about an air crash that took place in Croydon, Kingsdown Avenue near Pampisford Road. Well, Royal Oak Centre, just sort of up the hill from the Royal Oak. Happened 100 years ago today, and there were losses of life, and it was the first air crash to have a proper public inquiry. Plane took off from Croydon and developed some engine problems, and yeah, it was a terrible crash. Good evening to you, Emerson 2112. And I just, with the way things panned out today, I couldn't really find time to get down there and do a film, and it probably would have only been a short video. But Graham very kindly sent me some links. So there was a story done by Diamond Geezer. He does a kind of sort of London-based blog, been going for a number of years. So yeah, so Diamond Geezer. There was Croydon, no, Inside Croydon, the kind of, I suppose you'd almost call it the online equivalent of the Croydon Advertiser, modern way. So Inside Croydon did a story, and then I saw on Facebook that Historic Croydon Airport site had also posted a kind of memorial thing that they it wasn't really a service, I don't think, but they were just there in memory of those that lost their lives. Yeah, Julie, if you look it up, Inside Croydon I'm sure it's Kingsdown Avenue, South Croydon, but just do a search and you'll find the details of it. So yeah, it was quite an interesting results of the inquiry, really. I mean, they didn't really get to the bottom of it. Hello, Merlin's cat. Great to see a few of you guys joined, that you've effectively prioritised just jumping onto my waffle compared to Christmas Eve. On that point, Christmas Eve viewing. So we've been watching Shrinking on Apple TV, which is made or written and co-produced or executive produced by Brett Goldstein, who's behind Ted Lasso, also on Apple TV and also highly recommended. So we've been watching that. Harrison Ford's in it, amongst others. Really, really good show. And I was just looking at the listings. So what's on tonight? It's Christmas Eve. What are on the national channels? And ITV, I honestly couldn't believe this. I read it a couple of times. So ITV have got a almost 2-hour programme from, I think it's something like 9:15 until 11:10. And it is showing all the funny and rude bits across TikTok and other social media sites in 2024. Now, that doesn't strike me as proper Christmas quality entertainment. I mean, great, so someone has trawled all of these sites to do it. But you'd expect a bit more than that, wouldn't you? You really would. Train crash some years ago that came down the tracks on your road. That might be worth looking at. Yeah, the Purley train crash. I think I remember that Purley train crash happening. And I believe it might have been a Saturday afternoon, because I was at Crystal Palace and I think they made an announcement about transport issues that some people might face after the game. I think I've got that right. But yeah, I mean, quite a few incidents and accidents over the years. So I'm still looking for people's potential or possible or habitual Christmas Eve traditions. Do you have anything special that you like to eat on a Christmas Eve? Do you raid the sideboard? Yeah, success at maintaining a telethon. Indeed, lack of planning. Good selection on the beef tomorrow, I agree. Now, one of the things that I noticed, actually I didn't notice it when I first looked at the listings. The first time in years I bought one of those TV guide things. It wasn't Radio Times because they'd sold out, but it was another one that was pretty good. And then I had an email this morning, I think, from the BBC. You know, they kind of do a what to listen to on their Sounds podcasty thing and what stories you might have missed in the news. And one of them, it said it's tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, BBC Two, and it's Roger Moore's Home Movies. So he had basically a kind of cine camera when he was in his younger years, taking photos of the kids in the garden. And they found this after he'd passed away. They're going through stuff in his garage and they found these old films, and they edited them together, and that'll be shown tomorrow night. So, and it was interesting. Some of these clips that they showed, there was like Kirk Douglas and Olivia Newton-John and Elton John, and they said something like Elton John was playing tennis or something in the garden, or tennis court, at Roger Moore's house, and then he went off to record the I'm Still Standing video. So a little bit of history. Eating Greggs mince pies this year by the barrow. Greggs mince pies. I've not tried Greggs mince pies. Maybe that's something to put on the list. I think we got mini mince pies from Marks and Spencer's, and that was because the Sparks offer thing came through, and it was, I don't know, probably 50p off. So we just got that one pack. We haven't gone mad. The sideboard is not too bad. We always sort of have nuts, and I like a Satsuma. And we got some wine and stuff for tomorrow. But again, I tend to drive a lot over the Christmas period, so I don't go mad with the drinking. I don't want to give them an excuse or take any chances. Although the road seemed quite quiet today. I got the impression people had really hammered all of their shopping and grocery shopping over the weekend, and maybe a little bit yesterday. I mean, we ventured into Bromley yesterday, and it wasn't too bad. And then today was probably, if you just forgot the odd thing, like we still need to buy a lemon. So we will, but I didn't really want to queue up in Sainsbury's just to buy one lemon. So we'll probably get that in Boxing Day when we actually need it on our fish. So yeah, so not gone mad. Little bit of Lidl, I think, and Aldi and M&S and Sainsbury's. The longer it is on the sideboard, the longer you've got to keep ploughing through it and finishing it off. I know that is part of Christmas, though, isn't it? Eating all these things. Winter feasting. Because apparently feasting has taken place at that time of year for centuries. And why not? Pagan traditions and things like that. So, yeah. Yes, we go mad, don't we? And it is only really for a couple of days. And it's not like the shops aren't open. I mean, some shops will be open tomorrow. I remember last year we had to get something on Christmas Day, and we went to one of those 7-Eleven type shops, and managed to get what we needed there. And then, yeah, I mean, Boxing Day, all the supermarkets will be open. Of course, a lot of stuff now is online, so it's not like you've got to take things back to the shop. You could just sort of deal with whatever the problem is online. So, a few more joiners. Please feel free to say hi. And any TV recommendations. We've got so many channels, haven't we now? Showing me age, but there's probably a few of us on here that remember. Well, was it just BBC One, BBC Two and ITV? Then Channel 4 came along, then Channel 5, and then it went kaboom and we had about another 200 channels, which we have today, plus streaming, and they all want a bit of subscription money. So yeah, that's just the way we consume our TV nowadays. Of course, you also had to be in before to see the programme when it was on, pre-video. Otherwise, that's why there were lots of repeats back in the day. Yeah. So, anyone gone away for Christmas? Doctor Who. Now, I'm probably more of an old school Doctor Who fan. Sue loves it all. She's loved it all the way through. And I think I saw, was it last night, they had a colourised version of Patrick Troughton's last episode. Not seen it, but it's been recorded. It'll be on our planner, so I might have a look. Oh yeah, Gavin and Stacey, and they said this will be the absolute last one. They mentioned it on the news today, so it was the main news, and they mentioned about Gavin Stacey. Also said goodbye to CFAX and that. Yeah. Gosh, CFAX. What was the name of that quiz that you used to be able to do on CFAX? Was it Bamboozle? Bamboozler? Or was that something else? I seem to remember a quiz. War Games. That reminds me. Squid Game is coming back, I think, for another season soon. That was very different. That was Netflix, I believe. Yeah, I mean, sometimes these things just sort of get tucked around the corners in the listings, so it's quite hard to actually see where they are. And I mean, there's normally a catch-up option. iPlayer is pretty good for all that sort of BBC stuff. I think I'm up to date with all the listings, but yeah, that telethon. I think I remember 2 or 3 maybe max ITV telethons, but yeah, it didn't really go too well. Oh, that is the War Games, right? Okay, that is the episode, right? Have you seen it, and was it good? Did they do a good job of colorization? Good to get an opinion. It always used to be that a lot of the really good telly was tucked around in between Christmas and New Year. And I remember years ago, ITV got ripped to shreds because people said that the actual Christmas fair was rubbish, even compared with the build-up to Christmas. And they basically said, well, it's important that we put good stuff on in the lead-up to Christmas because we're running loads of ads so that people can go out and do the shopping. And when it actually got to Christmas, they thought, well, we don't have to convince anyone now. So we just put a load of rubbish on. An abridged version, okay. I wonder if AI was involved in the colourising. Could well have been. There's some good stuff on YouTube where people have done that with some of the old black and white images and sort of sharpened them up a bit as well. Remastered them, re-edited them. Done really well. Good. Okay. Well, I'll have a look out for that. John Pertwee's probably my favourite Doctor Who. If I want to pick a favourite, it's like picking your favourite James Bond. News article about the colonisation. Who was involved in it? I think South East News has mentioned it. Right. Okay. So again, that should hopefully crop up on a search. Yeah, it's fascinating how they do that. There's been some of those things on Netflix about World War II in colour and D-Day to Berlin in colour. But some of that was probably because they were shot in colour, not necessarily colourised. Although colour film was very rare back in the day. I did read once, sometimes people like to go out for a walk off the Christmas dinner, if you can be bothered. And they said, it's actually better to just sit down and do nothing and maybe have a snooze, because your body and blood flow and the like is challenged somewhat by all the rich food and stuff that you eat over Christmas. And if you just sit tight kind of thing, relax, then all of that kind of blood flow and organ energy that's needed can go into processing the food. If you go out for a walk and stretch your legs, and I don't think you go for a run after a Christmas dinner, but if you go out for a walk, apparently that's more of a challenge to your bodily processing, because it's being asked to put one foot in front of the other and swing your arms a bit. So that was a scientific take. It's a Wonderful Life. I saw the original today, and that was still black and white. It's a Wonderful Life was on when I say I saw it, I saw that it was on. They still have 2 or 3 versions of A Christmas Carol. I always like watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's probably one of my favourites, with Chevy Chase and many others. 1989 that was made. Literally a lifetime ago in some ways. Yeah, those faves. So that was the thing with tonight. I didn't know what I'm clashing with. EastEnders, Corrie, maybe. I won't be too long on here. It's just literally come along and have a chat. And thank you very much for jumping on. Really good. Really pleased for me to formally wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for the support on the channel. And I'm revving up for next year. Actually, I've got to spend some of this break in between family things, put together some talks. I've got 3 or 4 in the first few weeks in the new year. So I need to crack on with those. The Great British Bake Off. Yeah, that was on tonight. Yeah, now. Holiday Road is a song, yeah. National Lampoon's films. Of course, the one that I remember fondly, National Lampoon's, was Animal House. Fun fact, I worked with a guy that spent 1 semester at the college where they filmed Animal House. He wasn't there when they were filming it, but I think it was in New Hampshire somewhere. Anyway, there you go. Fun fact. And I've forgotten his name now. Who was the guy that died too young in Animal House? Oh, it'll come to me. Hilarious guy. His brother's still around. Funny, I just get a blank. Answer in the chat if you remember. John Belushi. There you go. There might be a lag and someone put John Belushi in there. What a character he was, but yeah, Belushi. Very funny indeed. There was a brilliant profile on his life. A few years ago now. Quite a sad tale, really, behind the scenes. I think he was Albanian. They said that was a family. One of the parents Albanian. But yeah, very funny guy. Very funny. I also like seeking out some of the classic films, some of the old kind of Ealing films. And as much as looking at the story, I like looking at the images of London. I was talking about that today with my brother-in-law. it seemed that for decades after the war, the buildings were used as car parks, like just flattened, fenced off, and an NCP guy taking the money as you parked on uneven ground by the banks of the Thames, and then a bit later on the real estate guys came in and built all the office blocks that you see today, and that regularly get pulled down and rebuilt again. And they'll probably be residential more now than commercial. The shifts that we see. So yeah, please throw in any other recommendations, any traditions, anyone have a completely weird and wonderful Christmas dinner, i.e., I don't know, curry or something. Or it came on a quiz the other day. What was it that the Japanese eat KFC on Christmas Day? It's a big thing. I think it was on House of Games or one of those black and white Peter Sellers films. Yeah. Brilliant. What a star he was. And the Carry On ones, I think they were often filmed up in Buckinghamshire, a lot of those, not far from the studios and stuff. I'm a vegetarian. Well, Sue and I are, I suppose, pescatarians. So we are going with a mushroom Wellington from Cook tomorrow. And we had poached tonight. Poached a loin of haddock, smoked haddock, poached eggs, and sweet corn. That was our meal tonight. It was lovely. The shifts that are often fueled by the creation of grey belt as a concept these days. Worrying to the fringes of protected areas in history. I mean, I was thinking about that just in our area. Hi, mate. The Americans introduced it after the war. Nut roast. Cookie's very good for options like that because it feels like you're going out and eating it. Chicken and gammon, no to turkey. It's the dryness, isn't it, sometimes with turkey. Excuse me. Yeah, I was thinking the other day about, so the Good Companion site, if you know Hamsey Green, that's been shut down for 20 years, longer. Lidl also own a site on the Brighton Road near the Toby Carvery, and similar to the Good Companions, just fenced off. I mean, what are their plans? I might have to dig around and see if I can find any reference in their accounts to what they might be doing with that land, because they paid for it. They've no doubt paid cash for that plot on the basis that they were hopeful of getting planning permission, building stores. But yeah, Korean fried chicken beats US KFC hands down. It's all in the sauce. Since the shooting at the Good Companions. Yeah, that was horrendous. I remember when that happened. What wasn't it? A group of guys got involved in a fight at the White Lion, and then came down to the Good Companions, and then not only did it start again there, but it ended up with, a murder in the car park. Very strange. All online still, I think. Might even be on a BBC story. It's a while since I did the Hamsey Green video, but I think I made reference to it then. I think. Also, I made reference to the... is it Audley Drive, where they found the body of someone down a well or something. Anyway, the links are all in that video. If you've not seen my Hamsey Green video, one of my early pieces of work from about 3.5 years ago, something like that. I'm almost thinking I need to revisit some of these. A few properties would have come and gone, no doubt. And certainly along Limpsfield Road, where there's been a huge building plot. Yeah, Tesco's own loads of land. It hasn't developed. Speculation, maybe. Am I playing any gigs? No, I'm afraid. The music hasn't developed as much as I would have hoped. I do have the capability now. I've got guitars. I've got the little I put it in a box somewhere, an audio device, so that this is where it's so clever that I can just plug my electric guitar into my computer and put the headphones on and don't have to annoy people. But no, so I've not got as far as gigging yet. I'm hopeful that will happen. Where did that hair come from that's just blowing across screen? It's not mine. So I'm hopeful of getting something going on that in the new year. I always have to have these different projects, different plates spinning. That's my my way. But I need to also make sure I finish them. But yeah, video stuff happening. Family history stuff's also been doing some of that in the naff weather. I needed one document to arrive in the post, which it did last week, to complete. I did a post the other day about it, Forestdale, the story of Forestdale, but told through A House Through Time. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Number of times we've gone out in the last few days and it's been lovely, bright, sunny morning. I was thinking, I could have filmed this today, but I'm not, because we're going out. Never get over the wonder of Farley Church and walking around there. Yeah, so St Mary's, I assume, Farley Court area. So writing a very long song at the moment. Wow, sounds good. Do you share your stuff? Is it online anywhere? Are there any links? If so, please let me know. Let us know. Songwriting, brilliant. I think this is a thing where years ago you had to kind of have a recording contract to stand any chance of getting out there and being noticed. And of course now the fact that you can share music so readily and so easily is wonderful, really. Really allows for the creation to be much more open. A bit like the YouTube stuff, really. Yeah, just to walk away. Yeah, I mean, I love the Farley area. I didn't really appreciate. So I'm on the sort of Featherbed Lane side, but really it's just across country. When I did the walk winter about 3 years ago, it was a beautiful, sunny, crisp, frosty day, and I just walked up from Featherbed Lane, past Farley Golf Course, across to the church and Farley Court, then over towards the Walling Park Hospital site, Great Park, then Little Farley Green, I think it's called, and then came back via some of the other fields and a bit further down, coming back through the scout camp. And it was a really lovely loop, actually. Really nice walk. Made so much better through the nice crisp winter's day that we had. So that video's in my site. Someone suggested to me the other day that I should do a show reel as well, and I think I should. So really just to kind of, if you land on the site, what's it about? So that's what I'm going to work on, just put some clips together and do some editing, showing about the golf course. I was a member there for a couple of years. Actually, my handicap came down there, but yes, it's a funny little track up there. Merlin's Cat demo channel. Yes, please. I'll subscribe. Just share the details. We'll jump on, do some live gigs. But yeah, I mean, to anyone who's out there now, if you've got, this is the outlet, isn't it? YouTube, and you can probably get onto Apple Music and, I don't know, Spotify relatively easily. Remember the cat sleeping there. So, yeah. No, I think we are very fortunate around here. And that's part of the story that I'm going to tell, really, is how we went from fields. So I'm going to talk about life pre even the pumping station, and then how that whole area has grown in all around here. So link is above. Oh, that's what it is. Merlin's Cat demo channel, is that right? Right, hang on a sec. I can't find a link, so we'll have to get to that somehow. Did I miss the link? Anyway, sorry, went off tangent then. I noticed the other day that how they've also done those the building plot next to John Fisher Sports Club in Warningham, Lipsfield Road. I mean, that's shot up. Don't know how many houses they're going to have there. The sign says a selection of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 bedroom houses. They've built loads already. I want to move it across the border at some point. Which border is that? Surrey, Croydon, Croydon, Surrey, Surrey, Kent. Further afield. Yes, so channel promotes the importance of how the area links to different counties over the edge of the Downs in London. Yeah, I mean, if there was a single thing that I have discovered since doing this stuff in the last sort of 3-4 years, is just how rich and how lucky we are to be on the edge of London and close to both beauty of the countryside and really close to rural life, actually, without you realising it, and still connected to that hustle and bustle of the city. I guess if you come over from Botley Hill towards Croydon overnight and you see London laid out before you, you kind of realise just how close you are. Likewise, if you go the other way, then you feel you're just going into the darkness of the countryside and beyond, and it's wonderful. And I think also being far more into maps and mapping and map reading and map analysis than I ever was, it made me realise just how more easily connected places are than you might think, because we're used to just going from a town to town by car or maybe public transport. But actually, if you're able through public footpaths and the like and bridleways to walk across from one place to the other, as would have happened for centuries, of course, then you realise just again how well easily connected we are. So I will do that search. Thank you. Yeah, it's we are, as I say, we are very fortunate, and I mean, I most of the time I think the map route planning that I've done has worked okay. I was looking at my Tillingdown farm video the other day because I had some questions about it, some in the comments, and I was having a nice chat with a guy about it, and I played the video again because I thought, and when I was talking to Mark English on his channel recently, when he did a live, he was saying about he always looks back on his videos, and I think I don't, and maybe I should, because it should kind of make you improve what you're doing, but so I might do a bit more of that. But yeah, the Tillingdown one was quite interesting, where I kind of met a dead end. So yeah, Chorlton and Farthing Downs and Coulsdon. Yeah, urban and countryside. Farthing Downs is wonderful. I feel I should go back there actually at some point. Well, maybe I could link the Farthing Downs thing when I do the long-awaited video of Old Coulsdon, which I'm going to commit to doing this year. So it's just, I suppose the thing is, I could just go out with the camera, do a walk, and point out what I'm seeing as I go. To myself, that wouldn't be enough. I feel I've got to do some research to be able to share things that people may not know, may not appreciate. And often just looking at older maps and showing the layers gives you enough to be able to tell that story. But I feel that the way I've developed the channel, I'd be selling you guys short if I just went out and pointed a camera and said, oh, look, there's a thing over there. I wonder what that is. I'd rather say there's a thing over there, and that's what that is. Just the way it's kind of evolved, really. So, good place to grow up, especially compared to those more to the north. Rarely go to Croydon or London anymore. Now, do you mean Crowhurst video, or do you mean Hurst Green? If you can just clarify that one. I'm now exposing the fact that I need to do at least another 2 videos. Crowhurst, I've been meaning to do that one. Maybe I'll do a Crowhurst winter walk. There's normally less involved there. But Cromehurst is really quite a pretty woods, and you got some viewpoints there, lovely terrain. And then if you come out by Upper Selsdon Road, you've got that, was it Fox Farm that's there, the kind of wooden boarded property. If you know, you know. Crowhurst, yeah, Crowhurst. So yeah, Crowhurst on the list. And I think you were on the chat with Mark the other day, weren't you, mate? So yeah, we're going to get together, Mark and I, at some point in the new year, Mark English, and perhaps do some sort of collaboration. I don't know what form that will take, but we will get together, put our heads together, and see if we can find a different angle maybe for how we go about stuff and what we might discover. Maybe bring in some of his paranormal interest to it. So we shall see. But there's all sorts of stories over where we are. So there's a yew at Cromehurst is over 2,000 years old. Wow. Hello, James. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Mark and his churches. He's covered an incredible number of churches. I'm impressed with his church count. So yeah, great. Thank you. I'm delighted you like my walks. Really, really appreciate that, James. Good to hear, mate. Dowsing, yeah. So I think he visited the Stones down at near the Shell Garage, Addington Village, where I did I suppose it was asking a question video about what are the stones there that are just kind of sticking out the ground. So this is a piece of land if you're heading towards West Wickham and Addington Village, just before the Shell Garage. Well, there's a power substation there. Load of stones sticking up. Merry Christmas to you. And yeah, Mark went over there, and I don't think he filmed it, but I think he did do some dowsing. And I don't think it's anything like kind of prehistoric type stones or anything like that. I did discover recently some aerial photography from 1940s, and I believe it is just that it's the remains of the farm buildings that were there, which is a bit of a come down, because I wanted there to be a spicy, interesting story there, potentially paranormal or something. I still don't know why they didn't just take the stones away. They would have demolished a farm building and carted off all the stones that made that up. And they left those almost like they were some, I don't know, ritualistic thing on the outskirts of Addington. But Mark, I think in that video might have referenced my channel or in the comments or something, and then we kind of had a bit of a dialogue after that. So yeah, good. I mean, in some ways we kind of just document what goes on around here, a point in time. Record keeper for parish churches. Ah, okay, right. I wasn't aware of that. Makes people aware of the history. Yeah. I mean, I'm not religious. I like churches. I like churches for their history. I like churches for their architecture. I'm respectful when I visit a church, but I don't go to church. But no issues with that. In fact, when we did the open house this year, I visited St Michael and All Angels in West Croydon. What a stunning church that is inside. And I took my proper camera and I shared some of the images with them because they said they want to use them. So it's fine by me. Nice bunch of people there. So, but yeah, the organ there with amazing. If you ever get a chance to go inside St Michael and All Angels at West Croydon, absolutely do it. It's a fantastic place. A bright day is better because you get that extra kind of presence from the sun coming through the windows and stuff. Yes, so Addington Palace was the home of the Archbishops of Canterbury. Well, not all of them. A number of Archbishops of Canterbury. It was like the country house. And it was actually called Addington Place originally, and it became Palace over time. So Lambeth Palace was, or is still, the main home. And then if you think back in the day, it would have been quite a trek even from Lambeth out to Addington, but it was also like coming out to the countryside. So yeah, Addington Palace was the home, and there are 5 archbishops buried at St Mary's Church in Addington. So it's quite famous from that perspective. And one of the archbishops opened the Addington Well pumping station just around the corner in the late 1800s when that was opened up. So yes, it was big connection between the archbishops of Canterbury and Addington and Croydon. So you got a connection with the old Palace School, which is now up for sale. That was a bit of a shock, but yes. So yeah, holiday residence and landscape by Capability Brown and all that sort of stuff. So the more I see of Selsden's history, the more I feel I moved here 50 years too late. The Selsdon Park Lodge is still for sale. Now, question. Is that the lodge that is on Addington Road? Or is it the other lodge that's on the bottom of Farley Road as you come down the hill before you climb up the other side towards Farley Common? Because that's all lodges interest me. I feel I would be quite happy living in a lodge house, except they tend to be on busy roads because that's the entrance point to a home that probably exists at the end of a long drive and some landscape grounds. But Old Farley, yeah, was it called Cozy Corner or something? Some sort of windy corner, something corner, I think. Okay, so that's still for sale. Yeah, because I know that the other lodge house on Addington Road, there's no sign of any people living there. There's boarding on the front door. I don't know if anyone's lived there for a long time, and I'm assuming that's for sale as part of the sale of the estate. Well, it's up for sale, the Selsdon Park estate. I'm interested that you're interested in Selsdon history. I've got a couple of things that I'm working on at the moment in research terms. One is, and I've been talking about it for a while, and I've covered it in one talk and it went down very well. I'm going to work on it a bit more for another talk that I'll be giving in Sanderstead in April, before I actually look to turn it into a video. But I'm just discovering more and more all the time about the Selsdon Park estate from the beginning of the century until Wickham Noakes died in 1923 and the estate was split up. It actually does connect to a degree to the Forestdale story from when it was small holdings. But there's just some little discoveries that I found out along the way in its connection with Selsdon Court that was Sanderstead Court, just to keep you on your toes. Cosy cottage from memories. Yeah, the path at the Addington Road one is blocked off. Yeah, there is a kind of old pathway that goes through from there. It's like the original entrance road to Selsdon Park was Upper Selsdon Road, which is why when you come out at Upper Selsdon Road, you're straight opposite the entrance to Selsdon Park Hotel. So that was the main road. What we see as Farley Road going into Old Farley Road wasn't always the original route. The sort of Selsdon to Croydon bit of Farley Road was built for when the Costains built the housing up there. So, okay, we've lost a few. And as this was only ever meant to be a fairly sort of impromptu, informal little chat, I think I'll probably look to close it off now. I'm really grateful for you coming on and joining in the chat. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's always good to have a little chat in this way with you guys. And again, thank you as ever for supporting the channel. And I love getting the comments, love getting the feedback, and I always do my best to respond to all of them. It's brilliant to get the conversation going. I'm going to try and do a bit more of the posts as well, which is either a picture or a little story on there, just to keep you informed of what might be ticking over when I'm not actually out there filming. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd always like to do a bit more of the video releases, but I do other stuff as well. So it takes, I work for the Bourne Society as one of the council members, and that has some tasks. Doing some work on their archives, and yeah, there's always plenty to do in the whole kind of sphere, the whole subject of local history, which means I probably can't actually create as many videos as I like, but when I do, I like to put a lot into them, and hopefully that comes across. So good. Well, it remains for me to say, have the most fantastic Christmas, however you celebrate, and a happy and prosperous new year. Look after yourselves, be safe, and we will engage again in 2025. I'll put another podcast in for the latter half of January 2025. But yeah, I will do my usual message here. And I'm going to try and spell this prosperous. I can't spell. New year to all. Yeah, I think I have spelled it right. Cool. Merry Christmas all. Thanks very much. And don't get up too early. Otherwise, he may not have been to deliver your presents. Happy Christmas.